That was perfect.
I thought it sounded good, yeah.
Hey, welcome back to Licks and Tricks. I'm your host, Ethan Mackowick, down in the Steel City Death Club dungeon. Today I have Nate Cross from Ugly Blondes. How you doing, Nate?
Good, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. It's good to have you here.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Nate is the riff master extraordinaire. I've given that title to other people before, but I think it really fits you.
I think I'm the righteous, the heir to the throne.
The rightful heir.
To
the riff throne.
I don't think that highly of myself.
No, you're fine. So I know you. If anyone doesn't know, I've met Nate before.
Each other, yeah.
So I know that you like to play SGs.
I
this
do,
is
yeah.
Guitar talk, basically. So
yeah,
I mean,
this is my fourth SG that I own. I've had 5.
You heard
before.
that. Fourth.
I just will never play another guitar. I've tried a lot of different ones. I had a gold top Les Paul a long time ago, and it was just too heavy.
Yeah.
Tone was perfect, but too heavy for me to play. I was just getting tired out after shows.
Yeah.
And I have a Fender Jazzmaster, which I play. I used to play it live, but just couldn't handle the tone for everything.
Would it feedback and
just too much feedback? So I just can't really do Fenders, can't do Les Pauls. I've had a lot of guitars with P90s, but this is like the only guitar that I can use live, pretty much. So I just bought too many of them.
Are you like a humbucker guy then?
I'm a humbucker guy. It's got to be crunchy. It's got to be big.
It's got to be thick.
Yeah, it's got to be thick.
So like, because an SG and Les Paul, people like think they're kind of like the same guitar basically, but they do have variations in tone. Like,
yeah, I think the SGs are just a little bit more versatile. I don't know, like I completely agree. Yeah, you can do a lot more with the rhythm, I think.
Yeah,
and it has a really great I mean, you play an SG as well.
Yeah, I love SGs.
Yeah,
I only have one of them though.
Like most people,
one is all you need.
I just get entranced by the colors.
Yeah,
I got
you have some nice color. Yeah,
I got this is the newest one, yellow, and I got a blue one. I got a white one, and I have a sunburst one.
The pick guard on that one is just like the perfect. Show it to the camera. That's
a little
just
fancier.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
But
I got it in Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago Music Exchange. Shout out.
Yeah, I couldn't leave there without buying something too expensive.
Yeah. Can you kind of show us like? Because I love that part at the end when you guys just go in the noise. Like, what's your thought process making that sort of?
My thought process for the ending of our last song we play, called Fluff Emission, is just to turn on everything and make it sound horrible and just have everything just mask it. So
please demonstrate.
I'll demonstrate. So I kick this on, turn the treble all the way up. That's the riff that we play.
Just let it go, yeah.
That's the riff we play at the end, but like the normal riff.
Can you just play that riff? Yeah.
What we do in the actual song is just.
It's actually something I want to talk about because that riff is so like kind of silly when like you try to like break it down and understand it.
Yeah,
because it's like the first part makes sense. It's like the chromatic, like, but then it gets weird. You hit, and and that last chord is like the grossest chord you could hit.
Yeah,
kind
like,
of.
With everything with blondes and everything I try to do, like I'm not a blues guy whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like I listen to the blues.
You hate the blues.
I don't hate the blues. I don't hate the blues. I like a lot of blues guitar players, but I just like find it just kind of overcooked by now.
Like,
so yeah. So
yeah,
everything I try to do, I try to not follow the pentatonic scale as much as I can. Like if I'm soloing, it's gonna be more like kind of like go down to the half step and then go back up. But yeah, I just try to make.
Can we go through what you just did real quick?
Yeah,
like you're hitting A first. So that's kind of like your home.
So I just go down to the half step and then like.
Oh, so you were like kind of in B.
Yeah,
and you're
it's
hitting
like it's always just on the cusp of something, but it just makes it a little bit more minor and spookier.
Yeah. Going for spooky.
I'm going for spooky mostly. Yeah,
Alright, cool.
Yeah, I don't like to make it sound happy ever.
Another song I think that's like, it's almost like some of the riffs are like metal riffs that aren't in a metal song.
Sure,
I feel like.
Yeah,
that's how it goes, right?
Yeah. It's in like that weird time.
An Evil Twin.
And then we go into. That's something I like to do too. Is not play the full power chord and just do the octave. Yeah. So that's big with me. It makes it sound a little bit more sharp.
Yeah. Especially when you're playing the other guitarist too.
For sure.
I think he plays the power chords.
He also does the power chords. We rarely do the same thing on each song.
And I'll even see you guys do like you'll play the power chords, but then like Justin will be up. He'll be up on the high on the fretboard, like playing E right here.
Yeah.
But you're getting like the more nasal tone. Like
yeah.
There.
I try to be as as rhythm as possible, but sometimes it calls for just doing the octave and just to make it sound a little bit more metal.
The rhythm guitarist in every band is so underrated.
I think so too. I mean, when I was growing up, like everyone had like their favorites was like Angus Young and guys like that, but I was always like a Malcolm Young guy.
Malcolm holds it down, man. He's got that sick tone too.
And that's why I was a big fan of Tony Iommi from Sabbath too, because he wasn't like a shredder. He was more like just playing parts that fit with the song rather than like going up and doing anything too crazy.
He could shred though.
He can shred. Yeah. He can shred better than me.
But it wasn't like the point of it.
It wasn't the point of it. Yeah, it was always just to fit the song. I'm more about parts than actual solos. Yeah. So that's what I try to go with.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Destroyer real quick too?
Yeah,
Because
sure.
I always love Destroyer.
Sure.
Can you just play it real quick?
Yeah, I'll
there's
play
like the chords you hit are interesting.
I start off with just the clean channel. So I just so it kicks into it, yeah.
It's interesting because like you hit the is it an A or A flat? I wasn't really paying attention.
The main chord is an A.
So
yeah.
you hit like the grossest. Yeah, we like talked about before. Like the grossest tone that you can play in guitars or in music in general is that. But he plays it. It doesn't sound gross. It sounds like you want to get pumped up.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like a metal band trope, I think. To a lot of it's learned from listening to bands like Queens of the Stone Age. It put a lot of minor and spookier stuff in there. So the mindset I had for that was like try to make the poppiest riff you can while still being weird and gross.
That's a great way to look at it.
Yeah, I tried to.
And like, because it goes by so fast too. You can like, you just kind of feel it. You don't really hear it.
It's a fast riff.
Yeah. And I didn't even notice you do the octaves up.
Yeah, the octaves. I don't play the chord.
It sounds better. Yeah.
Sounds a little bit dirtier. Just like a little bit messier. I don't know.
Pierces through a little more.
Yeah, a little bit more. Yeah,
that's
for
cool.
sure. Yeah, thanks.
Another song I want to talk about is Sweet Tooth Dracula because I feel like it's the greatest intro to a song I think that kind of exists.
Thanks. Thank you.
It's awesome. It's really sweet.
I mean, it's really simple.
And like, the ambience that goes along with it on the record is really cool. That Justin do.
Yeah, it was more just like I wanted to write something again that was like metal, gross sounding, but also had like a surf rock vibe to it.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that comes to like that riff came to mind, but like once it like you start off spooky and then it gets into the faster paced stuff, but yeah, I mean I can play it if you want me.
Yeah,
to.
go for it. Yeah, show the people what you're talking about.
Yeah, I kick on just a tiny bit of reverb and then hold on, that's not even right.
Yeah, there we go.
I forgot how to play my own song.
That happens. Again, another gross note. But I like that.
Yeah, that we
Oh,
kick into it. Yeah.
don't blue balls me,
Do you
bro.
wanna... Yeah.
It does have that Miserlou Dick Dale kind of vibe.
I wanted it to be I don't know why, like the inspiration for the album was like try to make it a little bit more surfier. Didn't really work out, but
I didn't get that was at all, but that's cool.
That's one of the first songs we wrote for it, and that's what
Yeah.
I was kind of going for. But
it's cool, like where you like try like the place you start and the place you end up when you're writing a song.
Yeah,
Is it
for
always
sure.
interesting?
Yeah,
Like,
it's just different. Like I come up with some of the riffs by myself, but then when we get into I bring it to everyone, it like completely changes. Yeah.
So I think the last thing we'll talk about, I've talked about it with like the last couple people we've had on, is like when you get home from work and you just want to play guitar, like what's some of the like just the stuff like you mess around with? Just like having fun.
I like to just play along with songs, like actual songs, like put it on a speaker and just like learn it and figure out new tricks and stuff that way. But I have this weird tuning that I do a lot when I play by myself that I'm actually more comfortable with doing. But I'll show it to you.
Yeah.
I tune the... I tune the low E down to C and I leave everything else in standard.
To C, okay.
Yeah. I have some solo EPs that I do, and everything from those is mostly in this tuning.
Is it kind of like a drone thing?
It's more of like a drone thing, but I've discovered that you can make it really poppy. So when I'm playing at home, I'm just like... It makes everything heavier, but you kind of have to like... It's like playing the chords backwards.
Wait, I gotta figure out what the hell you're doing right now. Give me a second.
So just tune it down to low C.
Everything else is the same?
Everything else is the same, yeah.
Okay. Because like those chord voicings you're using are really interesting.
Yeah, so like if you're gonna play like maybe a chord like regularly, like say you're doing an octave or something, you do it that formation, but you do it backwards and just But instead of putting your finger here, you put it on the A. Yeah. So you can strum that chord and get a lot more like I don't know, a lot more notes out of it. Like,
are you barring your finger across?
No, I'm just open like
just
that.
Open.
It's like completely open.
Really cool.
And the other cool thing with that tuning is that if you do it like an octave, like in standard tuning, it brings a more major key out of it. So it's like. It's almost like someone's playing a lead riff over it, but it's like incredibly easy. Like
that's awesome.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff I do with solo stuff is just in that tuning, and I have a lot of weird riffs like that. But you just like you learn to play backwards and. It just makes, I don't know, you can write poppier songs that way, I think. Yeah.
That's like one of the coolest things I've seen.
Thanks, yeah.
Like, just real quick for people who don't know if you could see his fingers,
Yeah, sure.
but he's going like, he'll be playing a chord like this, just the 2 fingers on your 5th and 3rd fret, and I don't think you're hitting like the top 2 strings.
No, not really.
You just kind of, and then hit the octave.
Everything with a low C over top of it just sounds better to me. Like, you barely have to move your fingers, like. Yeah, so So when I'm at home, I just mess around with that.
That is
all
so
the time.
sick.
Thank you.
I'm gonna do that when I go home.
Yeah, you can
tonight.
steal it.
Like,
Go for
that's
it.
so
Yeah.
cool. If you
It's
see a
lot of
Daisy
fun.
Chain song with
Yeah.
that,
No, yeah,
just
for
know.
sure. Go for it. It's super fun, super easy too.
Yeah.
Makes everything sound huge too because you're just low, but you're not really at the same time.
it's like you don't even need a bass player.
I learned how to do that just by trying to learn how to play Queens of the Stone Age songs without tuning my guitar all the way.
Because they go C standard
I learned
usually,
how to play
right?
like No One Knows like that, but it's totally wrong. But it's like, right. And you can still play it in standard,
Yeah.
but then like the other riff is like. Like without going through all the work, you can just tune your guitar down to C and just work around it.
Yeah.
That's what I try to do at least.
That's super sick.
Thanks. Yeah.
Well,
It's my biggest secret that I've just
that you just released to the world.
Yeah, everyone's gonna be fucking using this now.
Gonna sweep the nation, man.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's awesome. Well,
Thanks.
thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
You don't have anything? Like, is there anything else you want to tell the people for wrap up?
Not really. Listen to the Daisy Chain album.
Oh,
It's
shut
so
up.
good.
Listen to the Ugly Blondes album.
Oh, thank you. But that's pretty much it.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right.
Ned, it's been great having you on.
Thank you.
That's
Ethan.
Nate Cross.
Thank you.
This has been Licks and Tricks with Ethan Mackowick. Thank you very much, everyone. Dude, that was awesome.
That was good, yeah.
Dude, that's so sick.
It's unlimited power. The signal's so. When did you use it? I just got it.